All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. While we get situated with getting our Instagram live, thank you for joining. If this is your first time joining us, make sure you comment a 1 in the comments. And if you're a repeat, you can put repeat. We like to see who's new, who's back for more. And bottom line, thank you for joining us. Do you often feel like you have there's so much health and wellness information out there that you are just confused, and it often makes you feel lost,
Yes.
right? As if you're trying to learn, but now you're more confused than when you started.
Too. Raise my hand.
Yes, raise your hand if that's you. Well, it's very common because there really is all too much information out there, and it always supports both ends, which is why it leaves us confused. So today we're hoping to help you out with that. The last Monday of every month, we are going to do a live AUA, which is Ask Us Anything. So welcome to our first live AUA. Used to be called a Q&A, but we like the AUA. So make sure as we're talking, you're thinking about your questions and you're putting them in the comments. I'm going to go through some questions that I've been emailed, and then we'll get to the live question. So I'm Lisa, and this is Dr. Ryan. Thank you so much for joining us today. All right, so one that's very common, and this is kind of just a general one. This was not emailed in, but it's a very general question that most of you have, especially when it comes to supplementation, is how do I know I need to take supplements? Well, to start that off, 92% of Americans are deficient in at least one vitamin or mineral. So that's basically saying like we're all deficient in at least one. And you're lucky if it's just one, right? So, I mean, we know the common one is vitamin D because that's been really exploited during the whole COVID pandemic, but there's also so many more vitamins and minerals that we're deficient in. And when we're deficient in something, our body's not working properly. Take magnesium, for example. Most of us are deficient in magnesium as well, which magnesium is involved in over 300 chemical reactions in the body. So if we're deficient in it, those reactions aren't taking place. And that goes with so much more. So you might not be having this burning feeling of like something's wrong, what's going on with me? Or you may. I mean, it could be anything from sleep issues, hair loss, brittle nails or skin, fatigue. I mean, there's just so many headaches. There's just so many things that go into play. And then we commonly reach for like, hey, I have a headache. I'm just going to take some Tylenol. But like, let's think about the root cause, guys. Why do you have that headache? So we want to work with not just treating things with over-the-counter medications or prescription medications, but work on finding out that root cause and trying to fulfill that. Like if it's a nutrient deficiency, we need to take supplements. So again, this kind of just speaks, everybody needs to be taking nutritional supplements. Yeah,
I was going to say too, on that note, if you exercise, which you know, people that are health conscious are exercising, they're sweating, right? If you drink caffeine, a lot of people do with coffee and different teas and such. If you drink alcohol, a lot of people, of course, do that. If you have stress, anxiety, if you take a lot of prescription medications, honestly, you are depleted of a vitamin or mineral. Like Lisa said, you're lucky if it's just one. But I mean, look, think about that. I mean, it covers basically everybody. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like we could go into like why you should supplement and give you countless, reasons why. And so I hope it becomes more clear. And here's another challenge. If you decide to start supplementing, have never supplemented, you start taking magnesium for say 90 days, just 12 weeks, you will not stop it. I guarantee you. You would be like, no, I want to keep taking my magnesium. I've noticed a difference. I feel something. Or if you stop taking it, you'll notice, I really do. I should go back on my magnesium. So when we hear that a lot, this isn't just us speaking. We hear it from you guys all the time.
Yes, definitely. And if you really want, I mean, we always preach about knowing your numbers. So there's a micronutrient test that can be done. Usually functional medical doctors, lifestyle medical doctors do this. It is an out-of-pocket expense, but I think it's so good to do, yearly, every 2 years to really know where you're at. And as healthy as Ryan and I work and strive to be, every time I do my micronutrient panel, there's always something I'm deficient in, something I need to double up on. But I guarantee you, every functional medical or lifestyle medicine doctor is going to tell you, you need to be on a multivitamin mineral complex. You need to be on magnesium. You need to be on vitamin D and some type of fish oil. Right there with Live Good, that sums up our daily essentials pack plus factor 4.
That's right.
I mean, it's an easy and it's a no-brainer.
Yep.
Okay. I could go on and on and on and on and on about that, but we're going to move on.
All right, let's show up here. What do we got here?
Well, no, I have some more that I need to cover first. Sorry. So we have, if you're new to us, we do have a couple newer supplements, and one of them is lean. It's our body composition enhancement formula. So I've been getting lots of questions on it. One of them, I don't know if you want to elaborate on, but one of them is I started taking lean and now I have dark stool. What's going on?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, the kidney bean extract. So I got a few emails on that too, and I just replied to them. But no, I'm glad we're addressing this because, yeah, it can cause dark stool. It is also rich in iron, which has been known to be a contributor to dark stools. It's not black, but it's dark. So yeah, if you guys are experiencing that or know anybody experiences it, now you know it's the white kidney bean extract.
Yes. Two more while we're on lean. So another one is sometimes somebody will start taking a supplement, and more common right now it's lean, and they're like, because it's supposed to be for weight loss, and then they're weighing themselves every single day and they're getting frustrated because they're like, I've been taking lean for 1 month and I haven't lost anything. You also have to understand that every body is unique. Bodies take time. This is not a magic pill. This is this is also a healthy, non-stimulating supplement.
Yes.
So, when you want to do something long-term, when you want to do something the right way, sometimes things just take a little bit more time, and everybody's weight loss journey is different. And some bodies are more stubborn, and without knowing the root causes of everybody's, is it due to hormones? Is it due to, lack of movement? I mean, who knows what it is? But lean will just take some time. These ingredients in here are proven to help support the body in weight loss. It's especially when combined with food, to help fill you up faster so you eat less, to help stabilize and balance blood sugar with food. I mean, these things, again, this takes time. So I always say with any supplement that you start yourself on, or any regimen you start yourself on, even if you start doing a new exercise class, you have to give your body at least 3 months to adapt to the new change. So if it's a supplement, example, lean, or like I said, the exercise class, stick with it for 3 months before you evaluate, is this working for me? Is this right for me? Because when it does come to some of our supplements, it's really not a one size fits all. Now, going back to your multivitamin, magnesium, vitamin D, all that's basically a one size fits all. But we have other things like the lean, or hormonal balance, not necessarily for everybody. So you need to see what works for you. And again, while we're on it, one more question and I'm sure you out there have a question this in your head, maybe don't want to ask it, maybe have asked it to someone, maybe you're thinking it, but how does lean compare to the peptides, the Ozempic, the semaglutides?
The prescription weight loss meds.
Yes.
Prescription weight loss meds. They are working, well, it depends. There's a lot of actual GLP-1 agonists. There's a bunch of them on the market, but the two main ones are semaglutide and tirzepatide. The semaglutide's trade name is Wegovy for weight loss and Ozempic for diabetes. So I think a lot of people know about Ozempic, even though that's really a diabetic medicine, not the weight loss one like Wegovy. And then they have tirzepatide, which is Mounjaro, and the weight loss one is Zepbound. Yeah, no, they work predominantly. Well, actually, yeah, I mean the first class, the Wegovy and the Ozempics work on as a GLP-1 agonist specifically. Whereas the Mounjaro and the Zepbound actually have a dual mechanism of action. They work on the GLP-1 agonist and the GIP. So when it comes to the prescription drugs, that is pretty much a targeted approach. They know that they're going after that receptor. It acts as an agonist, and it does exactly like Lisa said. It just gives us, a sense of satiety or a feeling of fullness. We're not as hungry. It curbs our cravings and our appetite. It slows the stomach transit time of food. It does a number of different things. And, secondary to all that, there's been shown to be a lot of benefit. There's weight loss benefit. There's stabilization of blood sugar. Then therefore, there's better cardiovascular outcomes. We're seeing benefits in the psychiatric side of things. We're seeing it with alcohol dependency. We're seeing it, it's across the board. There's a lot of benefit. Again, there's some risks to consider, but that's when we looked at the supplementation aspect of it, we said, there are a lot, we know this, science knows this. There's a lot of ways to agonize the GLP-1 receptor. There are quite a few. There's namely a lot of supplements that do it as well, but the biggest and most exciting one is this New Zealand hops extract that we have in there. So it also works on the GLP-1 receptor, just like the medications do. On the flip side, there's some other ingredients like berberine. They call it nature's Ozempic, although it doesn't work exactly the same way as it does on the GLP-1 receptor as like the drugs or even like the hops extract does. So when you look at the supplements, when you look at the ingredients and the supplement facts of lean, you'll notice there's a number of different things, and there's fiber in there. There's some of these different herbs and ingredients that are beneficial for body composition. And like Lisa said, what's interesting is over time, you got to give it time, because many people that suffer with obesity are also probably suffering with at least insulin resistance, right? They're probably pre-diabetic. If not, maybe they're type 2 already. And you know, when you improve one, you kind of improve the other, right? So that's what we love so much about the lean product, is the body composition thing. So it's, as you improve body composition, we're also expecting to see more blood sugar stabilization as well. So kind of goes back and forth and hand in hand. There's a lot of overlap in both those two areas. That's why it's so exciting and such a compelling and such a strong product in the market. I don't know that anybody's anywhere even close to.
Right. And remember, you're talking about a medication versus a dietary supplement.
Correct.
Okay. Always remember that.
Correct.
That is, they are not the same.
Right.
Similarities. Yes. And so you can always check out our products too at livegood.com. Lots of information on there to help you. One of our other newer ones is hormonal balance. Still getting some questions in there, but I want to push you guys off to last Monday's video. You can find it on our YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe and follow us. But you can learn about our hormonal balance supplement and how it works and if it's right for you. And then last one for me.
And guys, write in some questions here too. I see some coming in, but send.
Yes,
let's go.
please.
I want to see a bunch here so we can zip through them.
Coming up as I'm talking, like that's the goal. So next we have our essential oils, Live Good essential oils. And I get the question, I just got emailed, how do I like to use them? So I'm just going to run through example of each one real quick. So this is 6 oils in our pack. So we have our immunity blend, kind of says it itself. Wonderful products. So if anybody is sick in my home, or if they're around kids that are sick, if they're in school and you know what, something's going around the classroom, whatever it is, before travel, after travel, I make sure to use our immunity blend. I either put it in a diffuser, I'll put a little drop, put it on the base of my neck, put it on my wrist, and I'll even do a small little drop in my mouth. But remember, these are very potent. So one drop goes a long way. Frankincense. My favorite way to use frankincense is I put a drop in my facial oil. It is so good for brown spots and evening skin tone. Really, really, but there's so many uses for this, but that's my daily use for frankincense. Tea tree oil, I love to put in our laundry on our gym clothes and the kids' dirty stuff. It just really helps kill all that bacteria, and I like the smell. Peppermint, same thing. I can use that in laundry, but not the best maybe for sheets, because peppermint supposed to wake you up, right? So that's where I would go and use our lavender one for our sheets. But peppermint I also use in lieu of gum or mints. So I'll just put a drop on my finger and put on the roof of my mouth. I put a little bit up by my temples if I need to wake up, or just diffuse it in your home. I promise you it will wake you up. It's great. And the lavender helps calm you down. So it's the opposite. Use that for sleeping or times of stress, anxiety. Same thing, I'll diffuse it. I'll put a little on my wrist. You can make it in a little roller with a carrier oil. So many uses. And then last one is our lemon. I like to even use a drop in my water. So it's almost, instead of using, you know, a lemon wedge, fresh scent in the home. I like to put it in my dish disposal to kind of get that fresh scent going. So, and so many uses. So make sure you check out our essential oils. That's it for me, Ryan. What do we have?
Yeah, let's get to some questions that are actually coming in the screen here. Peppermint, guys, is really great if you're feeling a little bit sluggish. You can just put a few drops in your hands, and be careful with using oils undiluted, but this is one way you can do it. Put a few drops in your hands. You can run it in. You can breathe it in real deep, and it just really does. It's an invigorating way to pick me up. So something cool to think about. All right, cool. Let's go. Let's check this out. What do we have here? All right. What products do you have to restore eyesight to 2020 from staring at these? Well, hold on. Let me get my my readers on here, staring at tech gadgets and Zoom. Look, I completely relate to this question, and there's some good news and there's some bad news. The good news is that we have a supplement that contains beneficial ingredients for eyesight and vision. It's in our multivitamin. We put in the vision support ingredients, zeaxanthin and lutein. Also has some vitamin A, so you have the carotenoids. Guys, this is part of the ARIDS and ARIDS 2 study, so it's well documented how powerful those ingredients are. The lutein and zeaxanthin are the colorful pigments of the marigold flower, and they're very highly concentrated in our retina, and they are responsible for absorbing blue light. So when you're getting all that blue light from the screen, of course, there we go. We're helping give our eyes the support that it needs. Of course, I could go into the lifestyle measures, but you're asking about that. So, and then the bad news is that just a lot of times with aging, you know, starting in our late 30s, early 40s, and then it kind of drops out. It hits a low at about in the 50s on average for a lot of people like I have. I mean, just struggle with nearsighted. Actually, I'm farsighted, so I struggle with seeing things up close. So yeah, it's really frustrating. I get it. I understand the.
Yes, and you could also wear those blue light blocker glasses. They have, all different shades. I like my ones that are basically yellow, and then my red ones for nighttime. So if you've seen us on some of our nighttime Zooms, you'll see I'm wearing them.
A lot of lifestyle things you can do for sure. All right, let's go. We're going to keep rocking here. So Lisa, when is the best time to take creatine and aminos?
And is it best to
have them
separately? Okay, so the real best time to take them if you are working out is either before, during, after that workout, in that combination. Sometimes even stacking your aminos, a scoop before and a scoop after. The best studies on creatine are taking after with a carbohydrate. So like you can make a protein shake, stick it in there. But I mean, personally for me, I add it to my pre-workout, which is with our E3 and our essential aminos, because I like the boost that it gives me. Like I just feel like stronger in my workouts. So somewhere in that roundabout of your workout. If you're not working out, time of day, it doesn't really matter. But let's say if you're an intermittent faster, maybe you could take the amino acids in the morning to help you kind of, get to the, sustain your fast.
Yes. Melissa, thank you for this question. It's a good question. I'm not going to elaborate on the creatine, agree with her. The aminos, if you really want to have that discipline and dedicated to doing something with your health, aminos 3 times a day, but in between meals. First thing in the morning, if you're fasting, great, because it gives your body the fuel it needs without breaking down additional muscle, because that's what will happen. The body will start breaking down muscle even after about 3 or 4 hours, so that it can free up the amino acids to make other important things in our body, like hormones and neurotransmitters and enzymes.
Right, which is also why I know, like, we're not all bodybuilders, but
we're not all
if you're a bodybuilder, that's why they eat so frequently, so they don't hit that muscle breakdown at all.
Correct. Right, exactly. So the aminos are a hack. It's a free form amino acid, has all of the essential amino acids, so you're not missing any of them, and has 40% leucine, which is the actual preferred ratio. So in between meals, if you're going breakfast like at 9, and then if you're, or whatever, and then your lunch is at 12 or 1, I would have an amino at 10. And then I would do the same, or 11, and then I would do the same thing between lunch and dinner. And then, that fasting one, that's your 3 a day, and there you go. And then you'd have your supplementation with protein. That is not too much. That is seriously not too much at all. So I would love for you to try it, Melissa, and then let me know. Email us. It'd be great.
Right. And also if you're one, sometimes for me after lunch, I feel like I get a little slumpy, or I also just want like a refreshing drink, maybe something that adds a little bit of sweetness. It's a great replacement.
Sure is. There we go.
There's no sugar.
Hi, Suzanne. So Suzanne asks, can you take more than 6 lean a day?
Not recommended, right? Through the fiber.
I mean, look, you can. I mean, it's just like, why? I mean, the dosing that we put together is really designed to be two capsules, 30 to 45 minutes, an hour before a meal. If you're not eating a meal, that's okay. You can still take this product. It's going to help.
Right. That is.
But beyond 6 a day, there's really not a whole lot of. I think you're going to hit up and undo the comment. Yeah, I think, look, the dosing is suggested as 6. So if you go higher, you can probably tolerate it just fine. And you can experiment with that. I've told people that if they want to go higher, they can. If you're pre-diabetic or diabetic, I would consider monitoring your blood sugar. Well, if you're diabetic, for sure, but monitor your blood sugar. You should know your fasting. You should know your postprandial right after food. So do that, and of course, you don't have to monitor your body weight every single day, like Lisa will talk about. You could check in once a week. You could check in every few days. It's definitely a difficult thing to fixate on. It's not the right thing to fixate on. How about that?
Right. I just put one up there.
All right, you did.
And
awesome.
Hi, Ivan said, or repeat, thanks for joining us again. So we have from Trisha, what is the best time to take the women's hormone product? There is not a right time. It can be taken with your other supplements. What I would say is if you're taking magnesium, don't take it with magnesium. And also not necessarily with lean if you are one that's taking lean also, just because the fiber can decrease the absorption a little bit. So adding it into, let's say you take your multivitamin and vitamin D and factor 4 after breakfast, you could throw those, hormone balance in there too to get it all done. All right.
Yeah, I mean, look, hello, lots of hellos. I know.
Scrolling down. All right. Well, I think I left a few on my list over here.
There's still more coming in here. There's a bunch.
Good. I see.
Booyah.
Get his readers on.
It just sucks because you look at a computer, it strains your eyes so much. I spend so much time on a computer. Hey, what's up there, Kelly? Checking in. I love it. Good to see you.
In love with these products. Thank you. Yes, again, guys, you don't know about our products, check them out at livegood.com. Lots of information on there. So many beneficial supplements for everyone. I mean, ranging from our coffee to our protein to sleep supplements, to energy. It's all there. I did see a question on there that was can't remember if it was mother or father, is 78. What supplements would you recommend starting with?
I did pass over that.
And honestly, when in a situation like that, what is the ingredients that are International Wellness Pack? And that's really our vitamin D, our multivitamin. Do you have another one too? Our multivitamin, our magnesium, our factor 4, our super greens and super reds. So the goal here is to eliminate nutrient deficiencies, decrease the body's unwanted inflammation, and load the body with antioxidants. An amazing, well-rounded place to start. And this really goes for everybody. If you guys are not doing it, you have to do it. And then start to handpick other ones that kind of work for you. You found one?
Yeah, well, there's a bunch. Sure.
Okay.
That's can a 2-year-old take a children's gummy? I don't see how they could. I mean, they're probably not well developed in their mouth either.
Right. This goes for like more of like a choking issue. So, right. I mean, if your child is eating gummies, I mean, our children's gummy does dissolve very quickly in the mouth, but it's really more of a choking hazard because they do need to chew, and have small little mouths and don't have other teeth. And
Victoria asked, hey, does our lean product give us diarrhea? So look, anytime you're introducing new fibers and this brings up a good point though. It certainly can cause some stomach upset. It can, but it shouldn't, right? It's not going to ever, not guaranteed that you're going to feel stomach upset, but try taking it with a little bit of food if you need to, and then you can try spacing it out and seeing if you can get it an hour before. But with anything with fiber like this, needs to be taken with significant amount of water. So a lot of times fiber actually would help people that suffer from diarrhea, but
right.
quite frankly, you do need to make sure you're consuming water, especially because of the glucomannan. It absorbs a significant amount of water as fiber, soluble fiber. So,
right, and like I was saying, anytime you introduce something to the GI system, you're shaking it up a little bit.
Sure.
So if you do have a sensitivity, just back down a little bit, slow down, like Ryan said. Try with food. Try decreasing the dose to 1-3 times a day. When Ryan and I were taking it ourselves, because neither of us use it regularly and we don't need the lean, but of course we want to see how our bodies respond. And maybe the first week we both had bloating and gas. And then after that it was gone. So it was like our bodies just took a little bit of time to figure out what was going on, something new introduced. So just keep it consistent. There was another question I saw in here about pregnancy. A woman was trying to get pregnant. What are the best supplements? Again, I go back to that. Actually, I'd probably go to the Ultimate Wellness Pack because that pulls in our everything in the International Wellness Pack, but it pulls in also our essential aminos. So the goal with trying to get pregnant is really striving to have a balanced body. So that's your hormones, that's your nutrients, that's making sure all inflammation is down, so your body is ready to do what it's supposed to do. So making sure you have all those nutrients, but then also using the essential aminos to help with body composition plays a major, major, major role in our hormones. So if you are overweight, if you are sedentary, if your diet is crap, you've got to clean that up too, as well as the Ultimate Wellness Pack.
All right, good. Well said. All right, so here's a good question. So, is it okay to take lean if my doctor has me on Victoza, which is a GLP-1 agonist? So yes, the answer is yes. Yes, you can speak to the doctor and let them know that you started lean, because lean has other benefits and it can work totally fine along with other GLP-1s. We get that a lot, it's specifically with Ozempic and the other one we just talked about. But yes, the answer is no problem.
Awesome.
You certainly can. And actually with the fiber in there too, it can really help improve some of the gut health too.
Love Lean has been helping me decrease belly fat.
Good.
It's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, again, you just got to give your body some time to adjust. New things. Always, some of these questions I'm seeing are very specific to that person. So if there's question that does not get answered, you are always welcome to email me. I get back to most of my emails within 24 hours. That is my goal. And always we come on We do this live AUA, Ask Us Anything, the last Monday of every month. And also every Monday between that, we are coming on live with a health topic. Next week, I do know what it is. Next week it has to do with fasting. So if you are curious about it, if you're an intermittent faster, wondering what's best, how to do it, why, when, who shouldn't, what supplements can you take, what supplements should you avoid. A lot of information going to be in there. So make sure you join us there.
That's awesome. I'm excited about that.
I am excited.
So many people ask about it. We do fasting and we love it.
And again, we're not, I mean, Ryan is a doctor of pharmacy, but we're not your doctor.
Right.
I'm not a doctor. This is our advice based on our research, our knowledge, our experience, and just trying to help you.
And what was it the other day we talked about with this question is asking, how many children's gummies can an adult take? I think it was 10. Was it 8?
No, it was 6, because you told me it was 8 to 6 to 8.
6 to 8.
That was what we were calculating.
6 to 8 gummies a day if you're looking for an equivalent adult dosage.
Yes, because I don't know any of you. I mean, raise your hand out there if you bought them for your children and you're trying them too, because they are really good.
I do. I do.
Every once in a while, if I want something just a little bit sweet, I'll go grab one, knowing that I'm just adding a little bit of vitamins to me.
It really is. It's an awesome product. It really, really is.
I mean, our children boycotted all our other children's multivitamins because once they knew ours was coming, they knew what it tasted like.
I'm sorry. I know we've already run 26 minutes here, but I want to answer this. Hey, Sharon, thank you for writing in. This is are the essential oils third-party tested, or are they just tested by LIVEGOOD? Well, look, I wonder, Sharon, if you might not have been around when we launched essential oils, because we made it really a big deal because it was delayed. It took us a long time to get these oils to market, is because I was very transparent and upfront about the testing. I said, no matter what, we are going to be 100% certain that the LIVEGOOD oils are unadulterated, that they do not have any contamination. And sure enough, 2 of them failed. So our tea tree failed, which it was a fake tea tree, and then it was another one. Was it peppermint? I think it was cornmeal mint. Anyway, we do have very elaborate testing. There's only 2 labs in the world, to my knowledge, that have the sensitivity to test, and we used one of those labs. And you will find that certificate of analysis on the bottom of the site. Of course, it's third party, so you'll see it, but it's very, very detailed. It's very informative, and I think more than anything, bringing these oils to market just proved to me how many of the oils that are out there for sale now are adulterated, they're contaminated, and they're not what they say they are. So many of them are. So be cautious, be careful. I know we only sell this as a 6-pack right now for many of you out there that want to know. I can't make any promises, but I would like to see these sold as singles, because I get it.
Right. But they really are, like, the 6 of them are the most commonly used that, like, I use every single day. So I might run out of my lavender first, because my whole entire family, like my kids, love the lavender. They make their own sprays on the pillow, whatnot. But all right, enough of that. Does our magnesium have all the 7 magnesiums all in one? No, we have gluconate, we have glycinate and gluconate. So 2 of the most studied forms to help increase our blood level of magnesium. So let's take, for example, another magnesium is citrate. Citrate is used to stimulate bowel movement. So if you don't have problem in that department, I don't want to be taking magnesium citrate and, going to the bathroom more than I'm very regular. So let's keep it that way. So each one has different needs and purposes. So our goal with ours is to increase the body's blood level of magnesium.
Bottom line. Yeah, bottom line. And I think a lot of it's a marketing play. I know the product that they're talking about that has all 7 or 8, and there's not just 7 or 8 forms of magnesium on them, there's more, right? But it's very expensive, and for no good reason. The glycinate is a superior form. It's well tolerated. It absorbs extremely well. And the goal is to increase our magnesium levels in our tissue, in our blood, in our bone. Now, not a lot of it's circulating in the serum in the blood, but yes, that's the whole point. We want it in there for use for our muscles and nerves and for all of those things. So like Lisa said, you don't want a lot of citrate. You will immediately start to have loose stool.
Right.
Oxide doesn't absorb well. And there's all these different forms. So glycinate and gluconate are your 2 preferred forms. They're the best forms. As far as getting a whole bunch of other forms in there, it's like, what's the point? It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
I just don't agree with that.
And that most common supplement that does that, they also don't list the amounts of each magnesium.
Oh,
right?
That's true. So it's all proprietary.
It's all blended lumped in a proprietary blend where they don't disclose how much. So like if your goal is to increase your body's magnesium levels, your blood levels, but yet you're taking one with 700 milligrams and it's a blend, but of that 700 milligrams, what if 400 is citrate? I mean, or oxide.
Thank you, AJ. That's an awesome question.
Yeah. It's funny. Some of these we could just make its own little live.
Totally.
But
I agree.
All right.
Sorry, guys. There's a lot in here that's very specific to you as an individual. So.
Right.
All right.
But
cool.
Again, wait, what was the? Okay. Yeah. So if your question did not get answered, please email me. Always available to help. And again, make sure you subscribe, like, comment to our YouTube channel. That way you don't miss anything. And like I said, next week is all about fasting. And if you missed last week's, that was where we talked about our newest hormonal balance. So you can learn a lot of information there. But thank you guys for joining us. We're about 30 minutes in, so we're going to cut it off so you guys can carry on with your day.
All right. Take care, guys. See you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.